Hello and welcome to the first chapter of the Royal Lopez or Spanish opening. In this chapter we will be discussing about the Steinitz Defense. Let's see on the board, after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, which is called the Royal Lopez or Spanish opening. In this position we see d6, which is called the Steinitz Defense. There's also some other moves like a6, bishop e4 and d6, which is called deferred Steinitz, which we will be discussing about this more on other video courses, but in this video we will be discussing about d6, which is called the Steinitz Defense. In this position the normal moves or the engines like to place like castling or d4, which is also taught by different teachers, different coaches, different grandmasters, but we want to discussing more about knight c6, which is so wonderful moves, and maybe your opponent can't understand what do you want to do. Let's see on the board, our opponent can play different moves like bishop d5, bishop g4, knight e7, bishop e7, or knight f6. Let's see one by one. We start with bishop d5, which is the main line of the Steinitz defense. In this position we just want to play castling. I must be said, our plan is just castling, and after that we want to play like d4, take, and after that we can take with knight. Maybe this is archie for you. Let's see on the board, castling, and in this position we want to discussing about three moves, which is knight f6, bishop e7, and also a6. Let's see knight f6, which is maybe the main line. In this position we just want to active our rook, and also we want to keep our pawn defended. After developing the bishop we just play taking, and after that d4. You must be memorize this position because you will be seeing lots of Steinitz players which like play something like this, and after that maybe castling. We also will be see in different moves. After take d6, here if our opponent want to take, we just take with knight, and here we are attacking on the knight, on the bishop, and must be defended or just castling. If want to castle, now we can take, destroying the pawn structure of the queen side for black, and now we play f4, completely want to control the center, and maybe in the future we want to play e5, attacking on the knight, and this pawn structure will be so bad for black. Queen to c8, and now we play h3, because now we can keep and controlling the g4 squares. The knight and also the queen cannot come to an attack on our king. Queen to e6, and now we just develop our queen, and after that develop our bishop, and we want to play rook to d1. All of our pieces are active, and we will be start the attack. Let's see the other moves in this position. Not castling, just want to play bishop d5, bishop d7. This position is also not very hard for us. We just want to play bishop f4 first, developing our bishop, and after castling we are also want to play rook to f3, develop our queen, and also we want to relate it the rooks together. Rook to e8, h3. As we said in the last variation, we just talking about controlling the g4 squares, which is so important in this position, more than important than the last position, because the bishop is also want to come on g4. c6, controlling the d5 squares, just develop our other rook, and this will be great. And maybe we want to play in the future e5. This is all about knight f6. Let's see bishop e7, which is not very popular. Here also we can develop our rook, and as we said, just we want to take and d4. Now if we want to take, we're discussing about this position, which is so important for us to memorizing. After take, here we can take with knight and destroy the pawn structure of black, and after that we can play f4 again, controlling completely the center, and develop the queen, develop the rook, and again you can see which we arrive that position which we said. I try to make a complete repertoire so easy for you that not important to memorizing, just understanding the position and the middle game idea and tactics. Let's see the third position after a6. In this position again we want to take and play d4. In this position also we can develop the rook, which is not so difficult. For example, d4, take, and now we can take again and f4. In this position we don't want to just take, because this is not any important for us and we cannot benefit, because the knight also can take, and after that black position as well. So we just want to play f5. After long castling, here we can develop our bishop, and after that maybe we want to develop our queen, and this will be great opening for us. And maybe we want to play g4, g5, h4. Why not? We want to completely play kingside. Let's see the other lines. Bishop g4. In this position, as you can see, our knight is pinned. So in this position we play just d4. There's knight e7, e take d4, and also bishop takes f3. Let's see it's by one. Knight e7, we just want to play d5, and now after a6 we play bishop f4, b5, and now we have great and wonderful moves. You can pause the video and think the answer. The answer is knight takes b5. In this position, if a takes b5, bishop takes b5, rook to b8, and now we have another best move, queen to d3. And in this position we save the bishop, and maybe we want to have this pin more than now. For example, if you want to destroy our pawn structure, we just take, and this will be so strong pawn for us in c6. And maybe in the future we can also play something like, now the bishop is under attack and must be choose to take, or if we want to take, we just take, and after that developing the other bishop, and after that maybe we want to long castling, which is completely good for white. Let's see the other variations. Here also can take our d4 pawn, which is not good because we can't take with the queen. Why? Because the knight is pinned and now cannot take. Take our knight, we just can take first with check, and after destroying, now we can take. Maybe you think our pawn structure is also bad, isn't it? No, because we want to use this open file. Let's see. After c5, attacking on the queen, and queen is just going to d3. Knight f6, developing the knight, developing the bishop to e3, and now we active our rook. Maybe our opponent think just castling and all the position is safe, but now we have some other moves like long castling, like bishop to h6, and after that maybe we want to play and develop the knight, and this position is well for us, and we will be see the heart of attack ways in this course. Let's see the other moves and the last moves. Bishop takes f3, just stick with queen. We don't want to destroy our pawn structure without any great idea. After take the queen, s6, we destroy the pawn structure, which is so important. And after taking this pawn structure is, as we said in the first variation of the Steinitz, this will be so perilous for the black. Castling and just developing our pawn. In this position, if our opponent want to develop first knight, we just can't pin it. But if we delay the developing the knight, we just again want to pin. And after h6, bishop takes, queen takes, and this will be again great for us, because this weaknesses will be useful for us. For example, the knight is coming, and this will be, as you know, the weak squares is so important in chess strategy. And after that we will be controlling the center with our knight, and also we want to open rook in open files. Let's see the other variation, which is bishop e7. Not very popular, but we just want to have a complete repertoire. Because of that, we must see all of our opponent moves. We just castling. We don't want to first stick. This will be good for us, but not for now, because the king safety is more important. Just castling, knight f6, and again rook to e1, castling, bishop takes, pawn takes, d4. As we said, this position is so memorizing for us, and this is again that position which we're discussing. But now the bishop is not on c3, c6, and that's on e7. Developing our bishop, rook to e8, and now just we have one piece which is not active. What is that? Yes, exactly, that's the queen. And now the queen want to go in f3, which is developing the queen. And now maybe our queen want to participate to attack on the king of black. Maybe we want to also move our rooks, but just be careful. Don't rush on developing the rook on d1, because the bishop will be so perilous for us. So this is also 1, 2, 3. Let's see the fourth variation, which is knight e7. This will be great for black. Why? Because we want to, if we take and no pawn structure is destroying, and that will be great. But we just play castling, d4 again. We also can play rook to e1, but now that's not important for us, because no attack on our pawn on e4. We just try to open in the center, because as you can see, the black king is on the center. After developing, if we want to take, this will be dangerous for black, because the king is not castling. And now we play d5. Knight to b8, just play a4. we don't take, because this will be we help the black. So we just play a4. Now if we want to take, this will be help us to develop and start attack, and maybe the knight also can take, which is great. But after a5 we take, queen takes, bishop to d3, and now again developing the queen. Now the d3 is not very well, because of that we just want to go in here, and after that also we can develop our rooks. You can see our pieces are more active than our opening. For example, our bishop is so strong, but our opening bishop is really bad. You don't have any great squares to develop, and also the knight, as you can see, but our knight you can see. So let's see the other variation. Which is knight f6, one of the other main lines, and in this position again we want to play castling, rook to e1, and what we want to do? Yes, just take, and after that d4. As we said, this position is, again, we discussing about this. If want to take, yes, your answer is correct. We take with the knight, and this two moves, which is we see, for example, if castling, now again we want to play f4, queen to f3, maybe bishop to e3, and active our rooks. But if you want to play something like bishop to d7, again we can play f4. After castling, what can we do? Yes, your answer is correct. Queen to d3, and also not so important, we can also play something like knight to queen to f3, but this is also great. Again we can develop our bishop, and this position is great because we can controlling the center, and also our pieces are so active. For example, any random moves like this will be so bad. This position is completely fine for us. As you can see, in this position we controlling the center, all of our pieces active, the king safety as well, but unfortunately for black this is completely opposite. As you can see, just the king is yes good and safe, and maybe the knight is a later develop. This will be the summary of complete Steinitz defense, and we will be discussing about different Steinitz in other chapters. Have a good time, good luck.